The rain had just started to fall when Maya Johnson wiped down the last empty table near the window of the small downtown diner. Outside, the streetlights reflected in the wet pavement like pools of gold, and people hurried past with umbrellas and tired faces. It had been a long shift already, and Maya's feet ached from standing since early morning. But she still carried the same gentle smile she gave every customer who walked through the door. The diner wasn't fancy. It was the kind of place people visited when they wanted something warm, cheap, and familiar. But for Maya, it was more than just a workplace. It was the only thing keeping her life together. She tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear and picked up a small stack of crumpled bills from the table. Her tips for the evening. She quietly counted them. $22. Not much, but it would help pay for groceries later. Before she could slide the money into her apron, the diner door creaked open. A cold gust of wind rushed inside, bringing with it the scent of rain and damp pavement. Maya looked up. A little girl sat in a wheelchair just outside the doorway, struggling to push herself through the heavy door. She couldn't have been more than 8 years old. Her thin arms trembled as she tried to move the chair forward. For a moment, the busy diner didn't notice. But Maya did. She hurried over. "Hey there," Maya said softly, holding the door open. "Let me help you." The girl looked up with wide eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. Her voice was quiet, almost shy. Maya gently pushed the wheelchair inside and helped guide her to a small table near the heater. The girl's clothes were clean but worn, and her jacket looked a size too big for her small frame. "Are you here with someone?" Maya asked gently. The girl shook her head. "No, just me." Maya hesitated. Children didn't usually come here alone. "What's your name?" she asked. "Lily." Maya smiled. "Well, Lily, I'm Maya. And you're sitting at my table tonight." Lily gave a tiny smile in return. But Maya noticed something else. The girl kept glancing toward the menu on the wall. Not with excitement, with hesitation, like someone staring at something they couldn't have. Maya had seen that look before. Too many times. She had worn that same look herself growing up. "Are you hungry?" Maya asked quietly. Lily nodded slowly. "A little." Maya picked up a menu and set it gently on the table. "What sounds good?" Lily looked down at the menu for a long moment. Then she pointed to the cheapest thing on the list. "A small grilled cheese, if that's okay." Her voice carried the careful tone of someone afraid to ask for too much. Maya nodded. "Of course that's okay." But before she could walk away, Lily added quietly, "I only have $3. She opened her small hand. 3 wrinkled $1 bills. Maya's heart tightened. A grilled cheese cost $7. And that didn't include a drink. Maya looked at the little girl's hopeful face. Then she glanced down at the money in her own apron pocket. $22. Her entire tip for the night. She didn't hesitate. She closed Lily's small hand around the money again. "Keep that," Maya said softly. Lily blinked. "But tonight's dinner is on me." Lily's eyes widened. "Really? Really?" The little girl's face lit up in a way that made the long exhausting shift suddenly feel worth it. "Thank you," she said. "You're welcome." Maya walked to the kitchen window. "Sam," she told the cook, "1 grilled cheese, tomato soup, and a hot chocolate." Sam raised an eyebrow. "For the kid." Maya nodded. She looked hungry. Sam shrugged. "Coming right up." A few minutes later, Maya returned with the tray. The grilled cheese was warm and golden. The tomato soup steamed gently beside it. And the hot chocolate was topped with whipped cream. Lily stared at the tray like it was the greatest thing she had ever seen. "You didn't have to do all that," she said softly. Maya smiled. "Sometimes people deserve a little extra." Lily took a small bite. Her eyes closed for a moment. "It's really good." Maya felt a quiet warmth spread through her chest. Moments like this were rare. But they mattered. What Maya didn't notice was the man sitting in the corner booth across the diner. He had arrived quietly 20 minutes earlier. A tall man in a dark coat. His posture straight, his expression calm. Most people in the diner assumed he was just another businessman passing through town. But he wasn't. His name was Daniel Carter. And he wasn't just wealthy. He was one of the richest men in the city. A billionaire CEO whose companies owned half the skyline downtown. Daniel had come to the diner simply to escape the noise of a long day of meetings. He hadn't expected to witness anything unusual. But from his seat near the window, he had seen everything. The little girl struggling with the door. The waitress rushing to help. The quiet conversation. And the moment Maya used her own tip money to pay for Lily's meal. Daniel stirred his untouched coffee slowly, watching. Most people didn't realize how much they revealed in small moments when they believed no one important was looking. Kindness was rare in his world. In boardrooms and billion-dollar deals, generosity usually came with contracts and headlines. But this moment had none of that. Just a tired waitress and a hungry child. Daniel watched as Maya returned to Lily's table a few minutes later. "Everything okay?" she asked. Lily nodded eagerly. "This is the best grilled cheese I've ever had." Maya laughed softly. "That's because Sam makes them with too much butter." Lily giggled. For a moment, the little girl seemed lighter. Like the weight of the world had been lifted from her small shoulders. Daniel leaned back slightly, his eyes thoughtful, because something about the girl looked familiar. Very familiar. But he couldn't place it yet. At the table, Lily slowly finished her soup. Then she looked up at Maya. "Can I ask you something?" "Of course. Why did you buy me dinner?" The question was simple, but Maya paused before answering. Then she shrugged slightly. "Because someone once did the same thing for me." Lily tilted her head. "Really?" Maya nodded. "When I was about your age." She didn't say anything more. But the memory flickered quietly behind her eyes. A moment from a childhood she rarely talked about. Lily smiled again. "Well, when I grow up, I'm going to do that for someone else too." Maya felt a lump rise in her throat. "That sounds like a good plan." Across the diner, Daniel Carter watched the moment unfold. And something inside him shifted. Because the more he looked at the little girl, the more certain he became. He knew exactly who she was. And the realization sent a quiet shock through his chest. Because Lily wasn't just any child. She was his daughter. And the waitress who had just given away her hard-earned tips had no idea that the man watching from the corner booth owned half the city, and had just witnessed the kindest moment he had seen in years.